Picture this scenario, because I guarantee it has happened to you in the last month. It is 5:30 p.m. on a Friday. You have just finished the 45-hour work week. You are physically present in your car or on the train, but your brain is completely fried. You're driving home, and the idea of cooking a meal seems about as appealing as climbing Mount Everest. So you pull up the delivery app, you order Thai food or pizza or burgers that cost you $45 with the tip and fees. Then you get home, you crack open a beer or pour a glass of wine to take the edge off, and you sink into the couch to binge a show you don't even really like, just to turn your brain off. What if I told you that the pizza, the gas you burned driving home, the nice shirt you wore to the office, and the stress that forced you to order that food in the first place are all hidden taxes that are reducing your salary by nearly 70%? You think you were selling your time for $30 an hour, but after we do the forensic accounting on your life, the math proves you might be working for less than $4 an hour. Welcome to Mike Invest. This channel breaks down money problems in plain, human language and exposes the invisible equations that govern our lives and keep us running on hamster wheels that move slightly faster than we can run. If you are someone who looks at your paycheck and wonders where it all goes, or if you feel like you are working harder in late 2025 than ever before, but your savings account is basically flat, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. We're going to calculate your real hourly wage. Here's the fundamental lie we are all sold from the moment we graduate school. We are told that our value is defined by our annual salary. If you make $65,000 a year, that is roughly $31 an hour. That sounds decent. It's respectable. It's enough to live, theoretically. But in the business world, looking at revenue without looking at expenses is how companies go bankrupt. If a bakery sells $1 million worth of bread, but spends $1 million on flour and rent, that bakery is worth zero. Yet when it comes to our own labor, we only look at the revenue, the salary. We completely ignore the cost of goods sold. And the good being sold is you, your life, your energy. And the cost of selling yourself to an employer is astronomical. Let's perform a brutal audit of a hypothetical average worker in this economy. Let's call him James. James makes that respectable $31 an hour. But before that money even hits his account, the government takes its cut. Between federal tax, state tax, and FICA, that $31 is instantly shaved down to about $24. But now we have to subtract the work-related costs. These are the expenses James pays solely for the privilege of having his job. First, the commute. The average American spends thousands of dollars a year on gas, car maintenance, and insurance just to get to the building where they make the money. If he drives 30 minutes each way, that is wear and tear on a vehicle that he basically only owns to get to work. Then there is the cost of appearance. James can't roll out of bed and go to the office in his pajamas. He needs business casual clothes. He needs dry cleaning. He needs to look professional. That is an expense. Then there is the convenience tax. This is the big one. Because James is at the office from 9 to 5, he buys lunch twice a week because he didn't have time to meal prep. He buys the $5 coffee because he needs the caffeine to survive the 2 p.m. meeting. He pays for the dog walker because he isn't home to let the dog out. These are costs that would not exist if he didn't have the job. He is spending money to work. And then there is the darkest category of all, decompression spending. This is the money James spends to numb the pain of the job. It's the Friday night bar tab. It's the impulsive vacation he books because he needs to get away. It's the therapy bills. It's the retail therapy. When you add all these monetary costs up, the taxes, the car, the clothes, the lunches, the numbness, James isn't taking home $65,000. His net real income might be closer to $35,000. But we're only halfway through the equation because wage is a function of money divided by time. HR says James works 40 hours a week, but that is a lie. James wakes up early to get ready, commutes, sits trapped during lunch, drives home, and decompresses afterward. All of this is shadow work. It is time that belongs to the job, but the job doesn't pay for it. Add it all up, and James is dedicating 55 or 60 hours a week to his employment. So now let's do the real math, the real hourly wage calculation. When you divide James's true net income by his real hours worked, that $31 an hour evaporates. This is the work scam. Optimize your real hourly wage, cut the vampire costs, and build the gap between income and expenses, because that gap is where freedom lives. Thanks for watching. This is Mike Invest, and I'll see you in the next one.